Hey yo, it's Heed. So, today, have I got something exciting for you? Um, so lately, I decided to take some autism tests. Classic. So I have taken these tests, a lot of these tests already several times, quite a few times. So this was from Embrace Autism. It's the AQ test. It has 50 questions. And for this time when I did it, which was this morning, I scored 36, which is, I think, like, it's highly probable you're autistic with that. But the one I just did one the day before, I think, after work, and I was really tired. It was either yesterday or the day before that. But anyway, and I scored just below. Wow, how much did I get? I can't remember now. 31? Yeah, I think I scored 31. Where it says its statistical significance at 32. But anyway, this is the idea I had. So I was going to go through the questions of the AQ test and like kind of talk about them and like kind of how they like got me thinking and like whether I understood them or like what came up for me about them. So I'm just going to skip the first one because it was a tough one for me. So I'm just going to go to the next one. Prefer to do things the same way over and over again. Definitely I do. And it took me a minute to kind of realize that this is about like having a system. I do have a system with some things. Like, I always have to have, like, I control where everything goes in the kitchen because I'm going to cook there and I, like, need to make my morning drinks and everything. Like, no matter whatever my living situation is, I've always been able to just control the kitchen totally. Like, when I was growing up, it was my mom. But now, I've always had that ability. Like, my husband doesn't really care. And anybody else who was there was just alright with it, basically. And, like, I'm really good with, like, putting things back. But what I was going to say about that one is when I change it one time, like, when I don't do it the same way, it freaks me out so much. Like, especially if I'm like, it definitely was me, it was me. And I didn't do it the way I do it every time. It's like, it really bothers me. And then I wrote down beside that, like, about how, I guess that must be with the DSM criteria of, like, sameness. So I wrote same there. And then the next one is, when you try to imagine something, is it easy to create the picture in your mind? I don't know if this really is, like, why is this related to autism? I'm not sure. I put for that one slightly disagree. Because I think it is difficult for me a bit. Like, I do picture things, but not exactly in great detail, and I think, like, I thought it was interesting. I listened to this, or I watched this Autismatic video about, and he described how he, like, visualizes things, and he's kind of like a weaker visualizer. It seemed like to me that he was kind of saying. And I think I really related to the way he was talking about just kind of having a flash of an image, and then that's kind of all you have. Like, I find if I were to try to draw something just from, like, what I imagine it looks like, I really don't have that good of a concept of what it really looks like. That's what it makes me realize, because when I start drawing it, it's like, whoa, I have no idea what it looks like. And I think some people have, like, a lot more visual minds, and mine is more so, like, verbal. But anyway, like, that seems like it's about the imagination, though, so then it's like, are they thinking that an autistic mind is not going to be as imaginative? I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding that. Okay, so then the next one is, frequently get so strongly absorbed you lose sight of other things. And yeah, definitely agree I had to say on that, that's for sure. Like, I think of it as like having a one-track mind, like I'm just, whatever the thing is that I'm doing, that's like my sole focus most of the time, like, and that's the most natural mode for me to be in is just totally focused on the one thing I'm trying to do. But then sometimes, like, you really need to be able to notice things around you more, be a little bit more flexible with your attention, and that's really hard. Okay, so then the next one is often notice small sounds that others don't. I think so. I mean, that's kind of a hard thing to tell, because, like, it sort of has to do with noticing how much other people notice the noises. I mean, maybe it would come up really a lot. But yeah, I definitely am bothered by noise. Like, if that was just about the sensory, having a sensory issue. Oh dear, I better go home. And the next one is usually notice car number plates or other strings of information. So I do notice car number plates. Like, I look at them. If it's like a vanity plate and it's like trying to say something, I always try to like figure out whatever the thing is, what it says. But I don't know. I kind of thought there was more to it with that one, and that I wasn't sure if I was really grasping what they were really after with that. But for that, I put slightly agree. Other people tell me what I said was impolite, even though I thought it was polite. And I put slightly agree. I think, like, whether other people tell you is... They might not necessarily tell you, but I feel like I do pick up on it, that... Or I'll understand afterward that... Like, yeah, I can realize in the moment that something's gone off. Like, something didn't land. The directness can be seen as rude. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I kind of have a reaction to this where, like, I feel like I need to ask someone if my text sounds okay before I send it. Especially if it's that I need to, like, ask for a favor, because I just am not doing any of the, like, buttering up about... I just get straight to the point, like, I need to borrow your car. That's exactly what I'm going to say to you if I need to borrow your car. You know? No warm up to that, even if we haven't talked in a while. I don't know. Did I get totally off track of that? Other people tell me what I said was impolite, even though I thought it was polite. Yeah, what I wrote on that was, I said slightly agree. Frequently go back through social interactions to further understand them afterward. Yeah, definitely. And, like, I'll talk about it for a long time with my husband, like, even if it was just, like, a really short interaction, like, with a cashier, like that other one I made a video about before. It's like, yeah, this is something that happened that I just want to dissect. And there seems like so many angles that you could look at it. Like, it seems like there's so much to it. Social interactions are very complicated. There's a lot to it. All right, here's another one that seems to be about imagination. Like, ability to visualize in your mind. Reading a story. When reading a story, can you easily imagine what characters look like? This one I feel kind of funny about, because I do imagine that characters look like someone, like, and sometimes even like a cartoon. Some people will be cartoons and some people won't even. But it won't necessarily fit the description of, like, what it describes the character as looking like. I just kind of have my own, like, start to have my own idea of what they look like. And it could be just someone in my life. A lot of times it is. Or like a star. Or, like I said, a cartoon. So I'm visualizing something, yes. So, but I put slightly agree. Fascinated by dates. And I said definitely not. I'm interested in, like, historical events, but, like, the date that it occurred on, to me, the aspect of history where you have to memorize dates would be that's the worst part. I'm not going to do good on that. I don't know. Tricky. Marrying the numbers and words together, you're going a bit far there. Social group, here's the next one. Social group easily track... When you're in a social group, do you easily track multiple conversations? Definitely not. Yeah, I really, really struggled to discern what someone is saying, if there's other voices, or like even if there's like singing. If two people try to talk to me at once, I'm getting like nothing out of that. Alright, so here's another one. Do you find social situations easy? And that feels complicated to me. Like, I definitely feel like I can get through a social situation. But I guess, like, that's not exactly what they're asking, is it? I'm often freaked out by it and worried I won't be able to seem normal. I remember even saying, like, I was talking to my relative about how I was going to go to a children's birthday party, like with my daughter, bring her to a party. And I said, "You think I could act normal?" And then for 2 whole hours, as if that was just like the most preposterous thing. Yeah, it feels like that would be a stretch. So social situations easy. I said slightly disagree. Yeah, because I am definitely feel a bit nervous about it. Notice details others do not. Yes, definitely agree. Yeah, I didn't really write any notes about that. Like, some of it's like just enough said. Notice details others do not. Yeah, for sure. Like, I always feel silly noticing the stuff in the background of YouTube videos, but it's just like, that's what I'm looking at. And it's funny to think how little, like, if there's a person's face, like, I'm not even looking at the person's face. I'm clearly just looking at whatever is in the background, because I always notice things in the background. Okay, here's another one. You'd rather a library than a party. And then I wanted to do a clarifying question on that. I said, alone? Going to the library alone, I meant. Then yes. And then it said, oh yeah, my understanding of it was kind of just like, the library is assumed to be the quiet environment where you don't have to socialize, right? Compared to a party, you would be socializing and lots of people, maybe loud, right? So yeah, libraries have been a good environment for me a lot already. I guess I'm just gonna make this the part one of this. That I've done 13 questions, except I have to come back to the first one. So I'll leave the rest for part 2. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, but if you are, cool. Bye.